friends, once again I am here to discuss the part of group dynamics. Remember, we were doing group dynamics where we were discussing various type of groups and we were in reference group. Reference groups are different from the previously discussed groups like the friendship group, the ad hoc committee group. So, discussed groups because they may not actually meet or form voluntarily. For example, the reference group for a new employee of an organization may be a group of employees that work in a different department or even a different organization. Family, friends, and religious affiliations are strong reference groups for most. Now, group structure. Group structure is a pattern of relationships among members that hold the group together and help it achieve assigned goals. A structure can be described in a variety of ways. Among the more common consideration are group size, group roles, group norms, and group cohesiveness. Then group size, which is again very important part. Group size can vary from 2 people to a very large number of people. Small groups of 2 to 10 are thought to be more effective because each member has ample opportunity to participate and become actively involved in the group. Large groups may waste time by deciding on processes and trying to decide who should participate next. Group size will affect not only participation but satisfaction as well. Evidence supports the notion that as the size of the group increases, satisfaction increases up to a certain point. In other words, a group of 6 members has twice as many opportunities for interaction and participation as a group of 3 people. Beyond 10 or 12 members, increasing the size of the group results in decreased satisfaction. It is increasingly difficult for members of large groups to identify with one another and experience cohesion. In formal groups, roles are usually predetermined and assigned to members. Each role will have specific responsibilities and duties. There are, however, emergent roles that develop naturally to meet the needs of the group. These emergent roles will often replace the assigned roles as individuals begin to express themselves and become more assertive. Group roles can then be classified into work role, maintenance role, and blocking roles. Work roles are task-oriented activities that involve accomplishing the group's goals. They involve a variety of specific roles such as initiator, informer, clarifier, summarizer, and reality tester. The initiator defines problems, purposes action, and suggests procedure. The informer role involves finding facts and giving advice or opinions. Clarifiers will interpret ideas, define terms, and clarify issues for the group. Summarizer restate suggestions, offer decisions, and come to conclusions for the group. Finally, reality testers analyze ideas and test the ideas in real situations. Maintenance roles are social emotional activities that help members to maintain their involvement in the group and raise their personal commitment to the group. The maintenance roles are harmonizer, gatekeeper, consensus tester, encourager, and compromiser. The harmonizer will reduce tension in the group, reconcile differences, and explore opportunities. Gatekeepers often keep communication channels open and make suggestions that encourage participation. The consensus tester will ask if the group is nearing a decision and test possible conclusions. Encouragers are friendly, warm, and responsive to other group members. The last maintenance role is the compromiser. This role involves modifying decisions, offering compromises, and admitting errors. Blocking roles are activities that disrupt the group. They may take the form of dominating discussions, verbally attacking other group members, and distracting the group with trivial information or unnecessary humor. Oftentimes, the blocking behavior may not be intended as negative. Sometimes, a member may share a joke in order to break the tension, monotony, or may question a decision in order to force group members to rethink the issue. The blocking roles are aggressor, blocker, dominator, comedian, and avoidance behavior. The aggressor criticizes members' values and makes jokes in a sarcastic or semi-concealed manner. Blockers will stubbornly resist the group's ideas, disagree with group members for personal reasons, and will have hidden agendas. The dominator role attempts to control conversations by patronizing others. They often interrupt others and assert authority in order to manipulate members. Comedians often abandon the group even though they may physically still be a part. They are attention getters in ways that are not relevant to the accomplishment of the group's objectives. Well, I'm discussing all these things because you should know the various part and various types of group and the members of the group. The last blocking role, avoidance behavior, involves pursuing goals not related to the group and changing the subject to avoid commitment to the group. Role ambiguity concern, because this is also a very important part when we discuss of group members. Role ambiguity concern the discrepancy between the sent role and the received role. Supervisors, directors, other group leaders often send roles to group members in formal groups. Group members receive roles by being ready and willing to undertake the task associated with that role. Ambiguity results when members are confused about the delegation of job responsibilities. This confusion may occur because the members do not have specific job descriptions or because the instructions regarding the task were not clear. Group members who experience ambiguity often have feelings of frustration and dissatisfaction, which ultimately lead to turnover. Role conflict occurs when there is inconsistency between the perceived role and role behavior. There are several different forms of role conflict. Inter-role conflict occurs when there is conflict between the different roles that people have. For example, work roles and family roles often compete with one another and cause conflict. Intra-role conflict occurs when individuals must handle conflicting demands from different sources while performing the tasks associated with the same role. Well, group norms. Norms are acceptable standards of behavior within a group that are shared by the members of the group. Norms define the boundaries of acceptable and unacceptable behavior. They are typically created in order to facilitate group survival, make behavior more predictable, avoid embarrassing situations, and express the values of the group. Each group will establish its own set of norms that might determine anything from the appropriate dress to how many comments to make in a meeting. Group exert pressure on member to force them to conform to the group's standard. The norms often reflect the level of commitment, motivation, and performance of the group. Performance norms determine how quickly members should work and how much they should produce. They are created in an effort to determine levels of individual effort. They can be very frustrating to managers because they are not always in line with the organization's goals. Members of a group may have the skills and ability to perform at higher levels, but they don't because of the group's performance norms. For example, workers may stop working a production machine at 20 minutes before quitting time in order to wash up, even though they produced fewer items than management intended. Reward allocation norms determine how rewards are bestowed upon group members. For example, the norms of equality dictates equal treatment of all members. Every member share equally, so rewards are distributed equally to everyone. Equity norms suggest that rewards are distributed according to the members' contribution. In other words, members who contribute the most receive the largest share of the rewards. Members may contribute through effort, skill, or ability. Social responsibility norms reward on the basis of need. Members who have special needs therefore receive the largest share of the award. The majority of the group must agree that norms are appropriate in order for the behavior to be accepted. There must also be a shared understanding that the group supports the norms. It should be noted, however, that members might violate group norms from time to time. If the majority of members do not adhere to the norms, then they will eventually change and will no longer serve as a standard for evaluating behavior. Group members who do not conform to the norms will be punished by being excluded, ignored, or asked to leave the group. Group cohesiveness refers to the bonding of group members and their desire to remain part of the group. Many factors influence the amount of group cohesiveness. Generally speaking, the more difficult it is to obtain group membership, the more cohesive the group. Groups also tend to become cohesive when they are in intense competition with other groups or face a serious external threat to survival. Smaller groups and those who have spent considerable time together also tend to be more cohesive. Cohesiveness in work group has many positive effects, including worker satisfaction, low turnover, and absenteeism, and higher productivity. However, highly cohesive groups may be detrimental to organizational performance if their goals are misaligned with organizational goals. Highly cohesive groups may also be more vulnerable to groupthink. Groupthink occurs when members of a group exert pressure on each other to come to a consensus in decision making. Groupthink results in careless judgments, unrealistic appraisals of alternative courses of action, and a lack of reality testing. It can lead to a number of decision making issues such as incomplete assessments of the problem, incomplete information search, bias in processing information, inadequate development of alternatives, failure to examine the risk of the preferred choice. Evidence suggests that groups typically outperform individuals when the task involved requires a variety of skills, experience, and decision making. Groups are often more flexible and can quickly assemble, achieve goals, and disband or move on to another set of objectives. Many organizations have found that groups have many motivational aspects as well. Group members are more likely to participate in decision making and problem solving activities, leading to empowerment and increased productivity. Groups complete most of the work in an organization, thus, the effectiveness of the organization is limited by the effectiveness of its group. Now, what are the reasons for group formation? The people often join group since the groups give the members stability and enhance their achievement capacity. Well, the main reasons to join a group are have a sense of security. The group enables the person to reduce a sense of insecurity and have a stronger feeling with few self-doubts and more resistant to threats when they are a part of the group. Have a status. The person in a group can be easily recognized and a status is achieved by them. Developed self-esteem. The groups can help a person develop a sense of to belong, that is belongingness. This provides with feelings of self-worth and develops confidence in its members. Affiliation. The groups can fulfill social needs. People enjoy the regular interaction that comes with the group membership. Next, power. The power is derived on the strength of closeness of the group members, with greater power achieved when in group than if a person is alone or individually. Goal achievement. The goal can be achieved more easily when a group effort is present, as united we stand, divided we fall. The pool of talents, knowledge, or power of doing things and management for job accomplishment is present when individuals act in groups. How do you define a group in organizational behavior? Studies have shown that teams can accomplish more than individuals, particularly when a mix of skills, experience, and insights are needed to complete tasks or attain goals. A group consists of two or more people with common goals and shared interest. It may be created by an organization or the people within the organization. Group members interact with one another and are independent. The group succeeds or fails collectively. It may disband when it has succeeded or when it has failed to fulfill its purpose. Or it may pursue new goals together. So, what is group dynamics? Because we were discussing all these aspects to know group dynamics. As once again to revive, to repeat, well, group dynamics addresses the behavior and attitude of groups, looking at issues like how they are formed, structured and operate. These are the dynamics. Studying group dynamics can help to learn what influences how group perform and to discover how members interact. High performing groups share characteristics like the willingness to connect to one another without going through the team leader and conducting all conversations within the team. Members also are energized through face-to-face communication and alternate talking and listening equally. Other positive examples of group dynamic in organizational behavior include comfort among its members, candid sharing of opinion and feelings, and decision making by consensus. Well, friend, these are all about group dynamics, which is very helpful to create a healthy group. We all know that in a professional world, without group, one may not get success. So, as we discuss that how important group is and how important to be the part of group. Working with a team is always a kind of boosting up. It persuades to give something substantial. So, to know about group is always helpful. Group dynamics, there are several myths that if you want to be a leader, you can be very verbose, you can be very loud, you can be very vocal. No, these are all myths. A good leader is one who thinks of other, who cares for other, and who is always ready to dedicate to others. And a successful group is one when anything comes up with everyone's decision, that is unanimous decision. And how unanimous decision is possible? Taking everyone's consent. As I told you, that group dynamic is very, very important part of interpersonal skill. An interpersonal skill will teach a person how to lead a group. Because leading doesn't mean autocracy, dictatorship. Leading means that with a very powerful language, you connect with everyone. And if you connect with everyone, naturally, you will get support from everyone. You will get energy from everyone. This is the power of group dynamics. And then also we have discussed the various type of group, the structure of group. So, in a group, it is always better to assign tasks to different people to make the procedure function very healthy and smooth. And if the procedure is smooth and healthy, whenever we talk of group dynamic, the result will be always very fine and outstanding. Well, whatever I have discussed today, group dynamics, for this you need to develop a good, powerful soft skill, interpersonal skill. because the entire thing based on what? Your relationship. And relationship means in an organization, in a professional world, your language. Without language, without proper communication, you cannot achieve anything meaningful. So, my dear friends, to get a good group and the result from a group, develop a kind of cognitive language, mental language, physical language, so that you may attach yourself with everyone, you may convince everyone, and you may come up with a very healthy outcome. I am sure that today whatever I have discussed under the topic group dynamic is going to help you very high. Very high in the sense that you will think over. There may be some more points. I am not saying that I have incorporated all the points, but whatever the important points I have tried to incorporate. You think over. Thinking is the process that gives you food, that gives you breath, that gives you oxygen to move ahead, to work meaningful, and to work happily in a team. So, language is very powerful, and without powerful language, it is impossible to work in a group. I hope and I am sure that this is going to help you. Please, please, please read and think over minutely. Take my words to be a very successful person in your professional world. Thank you very much.